Hello, my name is Jeff Raffauf, and I'm one of the pastors at West Lawn United Methodist Church. I'm honored that you have chosen to tune in today so that we can share in this moment of daily connection together. I'm seated almost on the floor today in the basement of my house, surrounded by toys that are usually well used, but in these past 7 weeks haven't been touched. My wife and I are going through all the same things that you are, and granted, I understand some of you have gone through a lot worse. But we, like you, long for days when we can be surrounded by loved ones, when we can embrace those we love, when we can play with the little ones. But these are difficult days and challenging days. And so when we come to challenges and difficult times in life, I would encourage you to turn to God's Word for words of wisdom like we read in the book of Proverbs found in the Old Testament of our Bibles. And in Proverbs chapter 13, it reads in the 20th verse, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm." You know, sitting here with these toys, I'm here for another reason, because it reminds me when I read from the Proverbs of lessons my parents tried to teach me when I was a child, and they tried to teach me even in the arrogance of my youth. Truth of the matter is, I look back now and see my parents were right. I can remember every time I would go out, my parents would say something like, "Now, watch what you do, or make sure you behave, because wherever you go and whatever you do is a reflection on the family." Wow, that one hurt. I had to be aware of the fact that I was a reflection on my father and my mother. My behavior told people about the values that my parents imagined people would think I had been taught at home. And then I think when I was in 10th grade, Mr. Young was my Sunday school teacher, and for all the grief we may have given Mr. Young, my Sunday school teacher was right. He told us to run with Christians, to hang with people who believe what we believe, and not get dragged down by others. For he understood that whoever walks with the wise becomes wise. But he also understood, as we would not accept in that day, that the companion of fools suffers harm. He understood that when we run with the wrong crowd, we get influenced by that crowd. They influence our behavior, they influence our witness, and they influence the way the world will look at our values. Friends, in these difficult days, in these challenging days of pandemic and stay-at-home orders, when we're all itching to be with those that we love and we're anxious to see resolution to the economy and to our own economic well-being, in these days, we're reminded that the words that were true, God's word that was true and right when it was written, is true and right today, and it will be true and right forever. It's true for those who read it, it's true for you, and it's true for me. We're called to be witnesses to who we are and to the God we say we believe. Just as carrying my last name was an influence or a reflection on my parents, when we carry the name of Christian, everything we say and do is a reflection on the God who loves us and who died for us and who promises us not only abundant life in this world, but life everlasting in the world to come. You and I are called to live wise lives, associating with those who will lift us up and not tear us down, those who will strengthen us and not harm us or our witness. You and I are called to be God's children, here and now and forever. I pray for you in these days of pandemic. I pray for your safety. I pray that you will find strength in the company of others, wise other people, that together you might make wise choices, that you might do those things that give God glory, and that your actions and your words might honor our God, who loves us and accompanies us, even in these dark and challenging days. Friends, may God protect you, may God keep you safe, and may God be with us till we meet again.